What is good, folks? 2MW Fury's back at it again. We got a good show during this off season. Football is far away. The football season is far away. But don't worry, guys. We got you fixed. The draft is coming up soon before you know it's here. But before we talk about the draft, we got a good show for you guys. We got Tim. We got James. Yo, guys, what's cracking?
It's good to be back, man. I know we wasn't here last week because I know we was doing a lot of NFL personnel stuff. I know Josh is still away. He's right now in, I think, Uganda, looking at a defensive lineman for the Giants, or a linebacker for the Giants to sign. So I know he's doing this thing over there trying to find these. Remember that movie Blue Chip with Shaq, where they found Shaq in the woods hunting, something like that. So he got a guy. I don't know what's his name. They call him Tarzan, and he hunts. He fights animals and stuff. So Josh is trying to, somehow to talk English and maybe sign them to the Giants. As far as Mike, I know he's still with Winston. They still at Joey's Crab Shack. I don't know why they keep eating crabs over there with some butter sauce for so long, but they still over there. Della's supposed to be joining us soon. Right now, he's getting his mock and draft in order. But we're gonna start off with the New York Jets. Cool. What the hell is going on? We're literally almost 30-something days to the NFL draft. Everybody has a starting quarterback except the Browns, which is very, very, very acceptable. But the New York Jets, who was one game from going to the playoffs, and Fitzpatrick wants 18 mil, they offer him 7 mil. That's not even close. I mean, who do you think needs each other the most, the Jets or Fitzpatrick?
I think Fitzpatrick is losing his mind if he thinks he's worth $18 million. I was listening to ESPN radio this afternoon.
Exactly.
That same one, and I think it was Mike Westhoff
Okay.
pointed out. He gave a stat with Fitzpatrick. He said, number one, Fitzpatrick was surrounded with probably more talent than he's ever been in his career, so he had a lot of help. And
Right.
secondly, he benefited from playing the easiest defensive schedule of any quarterback in the league this year. I mean, you know how when the season starts, they rank the power rankings on what teams have the easiest schedule. Well, it turns out that the Jets, in reality, had the easiest schedule in terms of defenses played. So Fitzpatrick benefited greatly from that as well. So the Jets see that. They know his track record. I mean, I think $7 million is a little low for him. I think eventually the Jets will come up on their offer, but Fitzpatrick's got to come to reality, and they probably should settle somewhere around 10, 11 mil tops. You know what I mean? Somewhere in that area is fair for Fitzpatrick. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, man, I feel the same way too. I mean, here's the thing: Fitzpatrick played very good ball last year for the Jets, and Brandon Marshall loves him. That was Brandon Marshall's number one receiver. He also benefited from Fitzpatrick being there. So I look at it as if a quarterback is supposed to perform with surroundings. If you have a good receiver, a good offensive lineman, a good running back, a defense, you're supposed to play good. If you don't play good, then that means you're the odd man out. Good. Now, my thing is this: why fix something that is not really broken? The Jets, in my opinion, need to hurry up and try to work something out. If you feel that he's not worth 18 mil, okay, fine. You know that the negotiations always start up high. Go to at least 10, go to at least 11 mil. Listen, Kaepernick is making 11 mil. But Kaepernick got problems. Bradford got 18 mil. Look, he got 18 mil? Yeah, he got about 15 mil Bradford got.
No, 18.
Well, and
2 years,
18,
36.
Okay, so he got the 18 mil, but Bradford played only 8 games. Fitzpatrick played a whole season. And, listen, I can understand where he's coming from, but you know what? I think the Jets can make an adjustment to make him between 11 and 13 mil and leave it at that. And Fitzpatrick would be good money. But at the same time, if you don't have Fitzpatrick, what's the other options? RG3 is about to go sign with the Browns, maybe.
Right.
So, I mean, what do you think they're going to do if there's no Fitzpatrick?
Well, they were saying, I was reading in was it Bleacher Report, which makes a lot of sense, being that RG3 is pretty close to signing with Cleveland. The option for the
Right.
Jets now is for them to possibly look to trade for what's the quarterback name, number 13, the big, tall, white, blonde dude. I forget his name. And why am I drawing the blank?
From what team?
From Cleveland. They remember they was their quarterback and they benched him?
Oh, that guy. I'm gonna call him that guy.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. So that's an option for the Jets.
Right.
That and the thing is McCown, yeah. But the thing is with Fitzpatrick, where it works out for the Jets' favor is you had Denver, and I think there was another team sniffing around Fitzpatrick, and they weren't going to come close to giving him that kind of money. They were offering the same. So in other words, the market has spoken. Fitzpatrick's not getting that money from anybody. So it's not like he can leverage the Jets with anything. So everything right now favors the Jets in terms of them getting Fitzpatrick back to them for their price, or at least close to it. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you this. You know what? We all know the rumors earlier was Kaepernick going to the Jets, and I don't think that's going to happen because the way Chip Kelly's saying it, right, right, and on top of that, he fits that offense so good that they're going to end up working with it. Now, the Jets right now, you got Bryce Petty, who's your backup. We know they drafted him out of Baylor last year. I don't know if
he's not the backup. He's the third string.
He's a third string. Okay, so who's the backup again?
Why am I drawing a blank, man? The dude from West Virginia, the black guy. I hate designating people by color, but you know what I mean?
That guy.
Yeah.
Listen, but here's the thing. You're a backup
Geno Smith.
Right now, you need a starter. Geno Smith, there you go. Jawbone. So, but so here's the thing, though. I want to chill out. I don't want Geno seeing me push me in my mouth, make my jaw. Damn it. But the whole thing is that you gotta be prepared. And right now, I know Fitzpatrick don't want to be sitting on nobody's bench unless you don't mind becoming Tony Romo's backup. We gave him $2 million. So I think right now is chill with the ATML. Tell your agent drop it a little bit lower where it's comfortable, and you know what, finish out because you know this is probably your last contract and probably the only team you ever play for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So going forward now, we have the RG3. If RG3 is signed with the Browns, is this a good move, Coop?
I mean, in terms of what the market has to offer, absolutely. I mean, you got to look at Hugh Jackson. Everywhere he's gone so far, he hasn't really had a great quarterback to work with. Everywhere he's gone, the quarterbacks have performed admirably. All right? I mean, he's a really good quarterback. I guess you want to use the word guru. And I think out of all the quarterbacks that he's had, I'm trying to think back. He had what's his name? Carrot Top. Dalton. You know, I would say from a physical standpoint, RG3 is probably the most gifted quarterback he's had to mold. So from that standpoint, it's potentially could be a very good signing for Cleveland and an opportunity for RG3 to resurrect his career. And I know they're looking to draft a quarterback with number 2, which I don't find any quarterback particularly exciting to draft that high. But they may do it. They may trade down. I'm not sure what Cleveland does. But let's just say they do draft a quarterback of the future. RG3 is more than likely only going to be there for 1 year, which it kind of benefits both of them. It gives them a legitimate quarterback to bridge the gap to whoever they end up drafting, and it gives RG3 a chance to resurrect his career and audition for another team that could use his services, long term. So.
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't like the move. I really don't like the move.
You don't like the move for either side?
I don't like the move. Anything that Cleveland can do right now is good because you got to build a team somehow. But I also think right now it won't be good for RG3 because the thing is this. You're putting yourself in the same situation you was in Washington with Kirk Cousins. If you sign out with Cleveland and Cleveland goes around and drafts a quarterback in the first round, I mean, let's keep it real. We see what happened with McNabb. Okay, you sign a veteran to the rookies right there, we ship you out. It happened to him in Washington. It happened to him in Minnesota. It happened to a lot of quarterbacks. It happened to Kurt Warner with Eli Manning. Again, anytime they draft a quarterback in the first round, You as a vet, you are gone. You only here until the guy's ready to come in, and that is it. And so you might find yourself without a home again. Matter of fact, wasn't that Brian McKnight, a house without a home? I mean, do you really want to be like that? No, you don't want to be like that. So you want to go. RG3 is a young quarterback who you want to learn. He never learned how to be a quarterback. He was thrown in. He got hurt. Bad storyline over there in Washington. Right now, this is opportunity for you to put yourself in the best situation, but don't rush because let's face it. You go to Cleveland. Joe Thomas is the only recognized offensive lineman they have. Who's your running back? Who's your receiver?
Duke Johnson.
Duke Johnson, a second-year play. Okay, Josh Gordon, they never want to receiver. The boy is big. He look like a tight end. I heard 255.
He'll be ready for camp, man.
I understand. See, he's a question mark. See, again, if you had a guy like a veteran like Anquan Bolden, a veteran guy, a leadership guy, different story. You had question marks all over the field. So, but don't get me wrong, I like Hugh Jackson, but at the same time, if they turn around and draft a young quarterback, what's the purpose of you being there? You go, and here's the thing.
I have a question. I'm sorry to cut. I didn't mean to cut you off, Tim. But we all know that the biggest issue with RG3 and the Washington team is that the management gassed his head up big time. And he was not grounded. And that was the biggest drawback of RG3. He wasn't grounded in reality. He thought he was Superman, and the team didn't really like him because he was the golden boy to the owner, and the owner really took too much control of the direction of the team, where he should have left it to the the box office and and the coaching staff to how the team to improve. The management kind of did that, pretty much made RG3 where he is today. Now my question is the Browns any better?
The Browns is not better. I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I mean, here's the thing. The thing is this: it's a big time gamble. If I'm RG3, if you know you want to be a quarterback, you want to have your team to your own, you need to look somewhere where you know what I can learn the position, settling out this 1 year learning something that I didn't get the opportunity to do in Washington, and then when the guy is no good. This is my team. I'm gonna have a level. I'm gonna have a leverage up. Then the next guy they're bringing behind me. And what team is that? The man with the star, my Dallas Cowboys. Romo got. Listen, I love Jerry Jones. We love him. You think I believe Romo's here 5 years? I don't believe he's 5 years. His 5 years to me is more like 2 years, 3 years. So humble yourself. You come in here, you sit behind Romo, you learn the offense. If Romo, God forbid, goes down, it's your time to shine. It's better. You have weapons. You don't got to do so much. You don't got to be the reason why the team sucks. You understand? Unless you're making a mistake. You go to Cleveland, what are you doing? Who are you throwing the ball to? I give you a team like the Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs. It's another team. You go behind Alex Smith. He goes down, God forbid. You got to go on the team. The New York Giants. You go down. Eli goes down.
No, sir.
No. I'm just putting out good teams with situations that a quarterback in front of them are likely to get replaced in 1 or 2 years. So you want to put yourself in that situation, learn the position, wait, and then go in when your time comes. It can be an injury. Do not force yourself to be a starter and where you have no pieces around you, nothing around you. I feel bad. Let me tell you something. Did you hear the draft rumor? I know we can talk about the draft later on, but did you hear the draft rumor about how the quarterbacks are failing the Cleveland Brown interviews on purpose?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, Jared Goff, Wentz, they didn't have that much good interview. They probably like, Cleveland Brown, like, what? They probably took out a pack of cigarettes, like, look. Like, in a private room. Because nobody really, let's keep it real. And no disrespect to Eli Manning, but we all know he did the Deion Sanders treatment. He did the treatment to the team. You draft me, I'm sitting out. Don't draft me. Don't do it. No, don't do it. And what happened? Eli went to the Giants. He didn't go to the Chargers. A lot of quarterbacks don't have the leverage to do that. So what are you going to do? You're going to fail on purpose. They probably say, you know what, go smoke a joint because I'm going to Dallas. I'll smoke this last joint and I'm going to Dallas. I'm going to a better team. I'm just keeping it real. So, again, this is why the Cleveland Browns couldn't sign nobody. They couldn't sign nobody. Nobody wanted to be there. You had
only
guys
players left, man. They lost a lot of talent.
Yeah, I mean, Brainbridge is the only guy. He probably swooped his head up. We want you to be the face of the offense. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna get messed up, boy. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. So if I'm RG3, be humble. You went through a real crappy years in Washington. They did you dirty. We all know as fans, even if you're not a Redskins fan, we all know he got the bad end of the stick. This is your first and probably only time to really put yourself in a good situation. Don't think about the money. Think about the career coming up. You put yourself behind somebody who you know you may have the opportunity to play, but you may learn under a good system and great surroundings. Go ahead. I'd rather choose the New York Jets before I go to the Browns.
But I don't think the Jets really wanted him as badly as maybe he wanted them. You know, they really want Fitzpatrick back. You know what I'm saying? So. Right. You know, I mean, we can like sort of disagree on that. Like, I think I agree with everything you said about the Browns, but I mean, in terms of RG3 himself, he's just gambling on himself. You know, he's feeling like all he has to do is go there and perform admirably. He doesn't have to be the RG3 of 2012. You know, he doesn't have to be that guy. If he can just go there and perform admirably under the conditions in which he's in, which is like, you know, a football wasteland, you know, teams are going to look at that and be like, okay, this guy has something left. You know, we can get even more out of him. So, you know, the whole thing is he has to go there and he has to perform admirably so as to not give that rookie an opportunity or reason to get on the field. And we all know if the Browns are out of it by, let's say, week 7, week 8, really week 9, something like that, he's going to lose the job anyway, and they're going to throw the young guy in there just to get him seasoned.
And then
well, you know what? Words, guys.
No, real quick. Coop, you're right. Absolutely correct. And I feel the same way. And what's going to happen is you're going to see Flowers candies in a bottle of tequila from Johnny Manziel is going to say cheers in his locker. Cheers.
Oh, man.
Well, you know, I think the Browns is a bad idea for him because he needs direction.
Hey, listen. If he's right, if I'm him, I go to Seattle Seahawks because we all know what's going on with Russ in Seattle. Just prepare.
Well, I mean, I know we got to go, but in terms of instruction, I don't think I'm looking at all of the teams that we're talking about. I don't think there's a better place he can go for instruction, if we're just going to use that word, than Cleveland. Because like I said, Hugh Jackson is a miracle worker. He's a great quarterback guy. So he can learn a lot from him in terms of the craft. It's just that, like you said, Tim, he don't have the pieces around him to be successful. At least we don't think so right now. It doesn't look like that on paper, you know?
Right.
What about the management? The management of the Browns. They're good enough.
Management to me is going to be good because the owner changed up a lot of the management there. The GM's gone, everything is brand new from that last year. But the thing is this: so as long as you give Hugh Jackson, if you stand behind Hugh Jackson, and here's my thing. I know we're going to go to the next quarter, but here's my thing: if the Browns draft O-line in that first round with that second overall pick, all right, if they go O-line and not worry about quarterback, then I'm convinced, we are all convinced, he's going to build behind RG3. But you go sign RG3, and then you go ahead and you draft Goff, Wentz, or any quarterback, RG3 you're done. You're not the future.
Yeah.
Temporary.
All right. On that note, we're moving on to the next down, folks.